are #1. And here we go. Michigan State secures the basketball. We're at the point in the schedule where every game matters. Jocelyn Tate, quick bucket. The two top scoring teams in the Big Ten. Area Fenn down low, gets her own rebound. Second chance points is one of the areas where the Trojans thrive. Hauled down by Marshall. That's a matchup we're gonna watch. Juju Watkins wastes no time off the glass. Leading this Michigan State team, we had such a great conversation, not just with Coach Freilich, but with Julia Ayrault and how she leads this team. It's humans first. Nice look from Ayrault down to Van Sloot. You see how fast the Spartans will get it up the other way. Alex, spin cycle.
If she has a taller player on her, it's more of a forward, but as we mentioned, Ayrault is really a big guard. She's primarily a perimeter player that can take you inside.
Well, yeah, and just like that, Ayrault has the ability to stretch the floor.
The athleticism and the length of their guards on the perimeter, and then, of course, the size on the inside. These two teams are really similar in terms of personnel as well.
Watkins, too much space.
Rebounding, defensive rebounding, going to be...
If it's correct, Rhea Marshall has 6 rebounds in less than 5 minutes and 1,000 rebounds at this school. There they go again, offensive glass.
And that was game.
Van Slooten gets free. And now you don't call it press, but just this full court pressure from Michigan State almost forces a turnover. Area Fenn down to Heckel. Little slide pass to Marshall. She finishes at the rim.
And again, as you mentioned, right now we've only really seen a full court man-to-man. No trapping or anything, probably because of how good USC can attack a press, but just trying to slow them down a little bit, bringing it up the floor. Almost 2/3 of the league may end up in the NCAA tournament.
Haley Heckel through contact.
Really strong finisher, can take the contact. She's a lot of N1s on this season, not that time.
One of 7 freshmen on this team. We've talked about Kennedy Smith and what she brings. Kaylee Heckel and Avery Howell. Van Slooten gets it to Tate. She's in attack mode, using that pivot foot. Met at the rim by Watkins.
Just see the impact she can have on the defensive end as a 6'2" guard. Really smart with her instincts.
Working her way to the free throw line.
And in that game, you just saw her IQ, because a couple of those blocks on Betts were her coming from the weak side and helping in. Predicted where Betts was going to go a couple of different times in that game. I think we had one possession, or we had like a minute of play where she had 3 blocks in a row. It was just insane. It got the crowd.
So Smith back at the free throw line. Rebounds as a whole, though, 9-8, so still close. Michigan State trying to find, looks like a clean block by Kiki Area Fenn.
I haven't seen a coach like react so quickly yet so calmly. Oh, I mean, yeah, on the same side as Lindsay Gottlieb, and to us, it did look completely clean, but when you see it from the other side, they got the side of the arm that we couldn't see. Just
Ayrault gets them both.
Like a one, here comes the trap. Now it's more of a 1-2-2.
The Trojans get out of it. Got a runway for Juju Watkins, lands safely. And he's yet to find the bottom of the net. Gets the second one to go, the reigning 6th player of the year in the Big Ten. Leah Samuels now setting up the offense for USC. Ronald Offit tries to create space, tipped away by Halleck. And right back to the Trojans. Playing ping pong, Rhea Marshall was just waiting for it.
You've gotten a steal, you're trying to capitalize. You still have to protect the ball because of how easily USC can turn you back over and run it back.
Ayrault smooth as butter on that shot.
The game for the Spartans.
Watkins gets her own in double figures now with 12. But the pace, we talked about it. These are 2 top scoring teams in the Big Ten. A-roll with the step back. Tough. Right before the buzzer. He does the bun for every single game. Even her photo shoots, too.
I will say, after seeing that montage, like my soul hurts for Skylar Diggins that she plays.
They're
Are
nice.
gorgeous. The watermelons, that's what I'm going to call them.
I'm sure they have an official name. Kickball. A lot of time on this side of the floor. A-roll has Area Fenn on her. Goes middle, there's no help, and she scores. Watkins, couple jabs. Tate tried to deflect it. Watkins now has 2 on her. Scores anyway.
I mean, but just the ability to finish that when, like, sums up the type of coverage that she faces night in and night out, yet is still averaging 24 points a game.
26 as a team. Area Fenn, kick out to Avery Howell, knockdown shooter. And yet, Michigan State trying to create. Halleck stays with it.
I do think Michigan State needs to move that ball around a little bit more.
Well, no easy road ahead if you're talking about USC. They'll play a ranked Illinois. A-roll as Area Fenn defending her on the perimeter. Would have been a hard pass to get to Halleck. Count that as a steal for Kennedy Smith. USC, even though they don't always go to the rim in transition, they waste no time pitching it ahead. Area Fenn cleans up her mess.
So confidently, she posts up, she demands the ball from her teammates. We talked about how good she is on the offensive glass.
All right, Watkins going into post-up game, backing down Tate. She got hit, and Juju Watkins is holding her head, has yet to get up. Meantime, Michigan State scored. I have to get another look at that contact. She is uncomfortable.
So it looks like she was reaching for the back of her head, neck area before she hit the ground. The contact there bothered her as she's heading back to the locker room.
Yeah, that. Simmons looking to run against Von Olafen.
Get out on the break in transition. It started with their contact with the body, not necessarily up top, but certainly some contact there.
Well, and just something to keep an eye on. Now you have 3 Trojans with 2 personals. I mentioned Von Olafen, Area Fenn.
And then you have 2 players who have currently left the floor with an injury.
Great point.
Watkins and Marshall.
Marshall has yet to return, and of course,
A little bit. She certainly made the contact. You have to stay completely vertical there. Certainly dropped that left arm down, it looks like.
so there you see Juju Watkins back on the bench. This will be the 13th and 14th free throws of the evening for USC.
Yeah, this is a team that is top 10 in the country.
After this first free throw. Or now. For Robin Freilich, all Pac-12 a season ago. Led the Ducks in scoring last season. Well, just the efficiency down low. I know we haven't necessarily seen it today. She's 2 for 6, but over 50% from the field. Kiki Area Fenn, also very efficient.
Agile, working her way from one side of the rim to the other.
Cookies. All alone in transition. Bumped on the way up. It's like you pause because you just want to see what Juju wants to the court ahead of her.
I mean, this is what I think differentiates Juju Watkins from players of the past, current players. As good of an offensive player she is, I think she is equally as dangerous and talented, is taking it down towards the other end.
But just in this first half, so many times our focus goes to points, right? Because they're fun, they're flashy, but you look at the rest of her stat line right now.
Having an off night efficiency-wise, she's still scoring 17, 18 points. And then when you look at the rest of her box score, like actually in the...
Something she focused on in the offseason. All right, here come the Spartans. Simmons, full speed ahead, off on the layup. And Slutin, hard fall. There's a foul call. They're going to say it's on Samuels.
Much smaller than Van Slutin.
Remains that way.
Michigan State not going away, and I still don't really think we've seen them play offensively like they can. That's going to be waved off. It looks like a foul was called on the screen.
Yes. Stays with the road team. Off there by Sotelo. Ray Marshall catches it. Blocked there by Shoemate.
This looked like it was going to be a sure 2 points here, and then Shoemate just corner. Really nice block.
When you never know what she's going to get into. Sometimes I see her looking, just calling the game. So you're looking at the basket. I'm like, is she going to shoot it from the outside? She lulls you to sleep.
Just about every time.
2 for 2. Van Slutin drives baseline. Crafty finish. Juju Watkins, half-court shot.
They practice it every shoot
They do
around.
practice that.
She had a big smile.
We'll start the second half.
Yeah, when I asked her how to assess what they did in the first half, she said, you know, we just turned it over too much. USC makes things hard. Defensively, we have to take better care of the basketball, and when we get those turnovers...
For the Spartans. And this is what Coach Freilich is talking about. When they get a steal, get the score, they do just that. Watkins looked at the rim, area fan, back-to-back buckets are known to be disruptive defensively. Down to Van Slutin. Just stuffed by Marshall.
But now Coach gonna leave her out there with the three.
You can see that it's single digits. Area Fenn asking for it. She goes up against Van Slutin. Smith left all alone, converts.
Kiki Iriafen just looking so comfortable now in this USC offense, knowing her teammates' strengths. A couple times now she's had some really nice kickouts for threes.
And Kiki has been honest. Nice take there by Tate. Kiki now a 1,500-point scorer. Scored a 1,500-point.
To carry it.
A try from the elbow for Area Fenn. Largest lead of the game. Here's Tate. Down to Van Slutin. She gets her own rebound, stays with it.
It's about top 5 in the country in terms of free throw attempts.
Bring up the basketball. Kaylee Heckle tried to intercept it. Hampton stays with it. Van Slutin just bobbles. Picked up by Area Fenn. And then to Smith.
Wow, what a play from Kennedy Smith.
So Kennedy Smith is the possession for USC.
I mean, most players would just let this go. That was like a perfect combination. The effort from the freshman, insane.
Now let's see if USC tries to capitalize. Taken away by Michigan State. Simmons the other way, up against Watkins. The drive baseline. And Area Fenn through traffic. And I asked her if there's any player in the W that she, especially those drives from the elbow,
Yes, they're frustrated with some of the calls. Team defensively, they want to pick pockets, but it's a tight whistle, right?
We talked about it in the first half. It continues as a storyline in the second is the free throws.
I've certainly been here way more than I have been in New York.
Almost hauled down by Erie Fenn. The ability for Julia Ayroll to start the break as a post player. And Slutin, she's been effective. Nice behind to Sotelo.
To take action from these events, not just make it about the pink uniforms, but remember to learn how we can continue to raise funds and awareness for these terrible forms of cancer.
Beth Burns about this cause and about her friend, Kay Yao. Meantime, Kennedy Smith here in this third.
Her defense is just tremendous. I mean, she's like a one-woman transition defense.
The Hezzy, you know what happens next. To have weapons that can both go off simultaneously is hard to stop. Royal Marshall, talk about a contest. Lands in the hands of Watkins. Seventh free throw of the evening.
Great timing with what he plays.
Bowski. Michigan State's got to recognize Halleck, strong take. Great way to...
And it's like a wave that just keeps on coming, and you see it reflected there in the quarter-by-quarter score as USC put out their biggest point total of the night so far in that third quarter.
20 points off turnovers for the Trojans. 23 points at the free throw line.
Her ability to position herself and stay vertical, it's just really tactical in the way she blocks shots, and she's getting really confident doing so after those 8. Let's see if this is the play where she just runs up and catches the defense off guard. If they can get it in. Oh no.
Watkins throws it straight to Halleck. Got a smaller Samuels on her.
To launch it up. Nice job by Halleck to run it back for 2.
Okay, so
players on both teams play so hard. Oh man, I mean, game. From Erie Fenn right to the face. I mean, Tate is as tough as they come. We've seen multiple times in this game some really physical plays and hits and falling to the floor.
Yeah, ice baths. Halleck, crossover game, and one opportunity.
For a team that can force turnovers quickly on that end, they just have to be smart about doing it without fouling, which has been a problem throughout the first 3 quarters.
Halleck had nothing. Remember, Van Sloot has been efficient.
Tough take.
Fades there.
Peacock these days.
Including Big Ten women's basketball.
I mean, that is the best. That's the premier event.
Rhea Marshall doing what she does on the offensive glass, halting what was a big Michigan State run. Hampton. Improvement by USC. We've done a lot of Trojan games, just recognizing time and score. Wasn't talking about the turnover, yeah. 2-on-1, 10-point game.
You want to play with the lead and feel confident in your ability to close out a game, especially on your home floor. 10 seconds.
USC gets it out of the trap. Meantime, Ina Sotelo hitting the nose. She'll run off the court. See the trap here. Looks like
technical foul late in the game. She's been frustrated with calls lately, but her team is just going to have to fight their own way if they want to make this comeback.
In some time.
I wonder if the officials saw that clip of the player bleeding.
Hampton bounces it down to Van Sloot.
You just have to make that in a game.
Well, they get it right back. Hampton goes at it. Is on. Watkins turns the corner and floats.
And that is just too easy. Just giving an invitation for one of the best drivers in the country to go. They called that on Avery Howell.
So Michigan State back to where it was the last time there at the free throw line. Everyone from here out is a big one. A-roll. Feeds Van Sluten. She's been lethal. The up and under.
Got her.
Respect where respect is due.
Got lucky. You have to send help to Juju Watkins.
Wasting no time. That would have been a big bucket.
Couple of missed layups right around.
Smith attacks and just flings it up. A-roll set her feet like she was going to put it up. Goes to the deck. That's off. Here are the Trojans in transition. Hey, that's her favorite move.
She was bleeding heavily from the face.
They get it to 6. And then the Trojans just hit some timely buckets. Nine-point game, just under 2 remains. Michigan State needs a surge. They want to stay in it. A-roll. Control.
USC back to a 3-possession game, but that's a theme as well. Michigan State not being able to capitalize.
And on the other end, you know how that ends. A-roll on the curl. Van Sluten one-on-one, no help.
Take from Van Sluten, who's very skilled for her size off the bounce.
She's knocked him down too. No fouls yet from Michigan State. There's a difference in game clock, shot clock, but you're down multiple possessions. Nice find from Von Olaffen right on time.
Like to play out the possession, they wind the shot clock down, and then she answers, but an answer on the other end from Nyla Hampton.
He has responded at every punch that the Spartans have thrown.
Yeah, there were certainly moments.
Battle of LA, part 2. I'll be watching.
Same here.
They inbounded to Smith. You'd think a foul was coming there. Hampton was trying to foul.
Juju wants to get that 30-point mark.
The lob up to Smith, Von Olaffen. Just want to hold it. Just my thought.
Kind of a unique broadcast standpoint at this arena. Usually we're sitting opposite the benches. We have ourselves in.
We've talked about the free throws all evening long. This is a season high in terms of free throw attempts for USC. 35.
Wow. I guess that's par for the course with these new huge conferences, but still impressive.
Michigan State will try to get one more attempt to no avail. And USC gets another one in the win column.